y'all, I'm Laura with Hot Fan Media, and today we're going to be trying to tackle an ABS issue on this 2013 Jeep Wrangler. Let's get to it. Okay, so the issue we're having is a C2200 fault code. This car was actually completely finished and on the lot for pictures when I got a call from Lars saying that the brake and ABS and traction control lights were on and they weren't going off. So it was a brand new problem and the lights were persistent. I tried to clear the codes, tried to reprogram the ABS module. None of it worked, so we're pretty positive we have an issue with this module. After doing some research, I found a forum, tried what they had suggested in the forum. We will link that in the description. Essentially, it's getting on a dirt road and trying to spin out your tires so that the traction control light goes on, and they said that the traction control light went on and flashed and all the other lights went off and they stayed off. We tried that a couple of times and it did not work. On to replacing the module. These modules are in back order. I tried to get it from Jeep, couldn't get it from them. So how do they handle this problem? They either get one from a junkyard or have the old one reprogrammed. To have this job done at the dealership is very expensive, almost $2,000 repair. We were able to get a junkyard ABS pump and module for $655. If you're able to get the module in and do it yourself, that then takes it down to about under $1,000. I was able to find somebody else's video on swapping these modules out. That's the process that I'll be trying to follow here. And I'll also link his video. I have a computer tool to reprogram this module. Most people don't if you're not a mechanic. So he has a source for a little OBD2 scanner and an app to program the car in that module. That's something that everybody can do. So I'll make sure to put those sources in the description as well. 2 weeks later, the issue with the module that we tried from the junkyard was that it was 1 year off. So if you get a junkyard module, just make sure that the VIN is the same and obviously the part number, and that may work for you. I know it's worked for other people, but it's got to be identical. If you are not able to get a hold of one, which we were not, I sent our module into a company called Module Master, and even with paying for 2-day shipping there and back and the repair of the module, which is about $250, it still came out to be cheaper than the junkyard module that we had sourced. And I plugged it up, it worked perfectly, no lights, no programming. I will have a link to some tools that you can get a hold of if you do get one from a junkyard that you need to reprogram. Obviously, remove and replace procedure is the same. It's fairly easy. Be careful with the brake lines, but they did fine. I was worried about it because the official procedure from like Pro Demand or a mechanic would be to remove both of those parts, but you can get just the module out. Before you go replacing modules and pumps is clean your battery terminals. I've heard that just a little bit of dirt or corrosion getting on the positive specifically can do that, so there's another thing to try. We're going to take off this connector, unscrew this mounting bolt, and then this sits in some rubber sockets, and then we're going to try to gently lay this aside so we can get some room to get these torque screws out that mount the module to the pump. We're going to do this connector first. Yeah. Okay. So you can see the little rubber grommet I'm trying to get out right here. So this rubber grommet right here is just being stubborn. I've got the one in the middle out, but that one's just giving me some trouble. Okay. T20 is what we're looking at here. Okay, so I'm trying to be extra careful about these lines because we do not want to bend or break them. The next day, I went to the store to get this. It's a flexible extension. It sort of helped get to this one on the bottom, but it's not quite flexible enough. So I ended up digging through my tools again. The socket that this Torx bit goes with, like in the set, is just too thick around the middle, and it pushes it off center. So I was able to find 1/4 that tapers, that helps me get it loose. The reason why they're so hard to get to is because it needs to be straight on like this. You can kind of get away with it being at an angle, but if you don't have the right tools, you're going to strip the head. I mean, at that point, since we have a junkyard one, we would just have to swap the two systems if I couldn't get the little screws off, but thankfully we had an option that worked. That's our module. What I'm gonna do is take off all these O-rings, and then we're going to spray this MAF sensor cleaner. I verified that it's good for just generally electronics too. One of the other things that I tried before replacing the module was I cleaned the connector. I sprayed this in the connector and let it dry. It's a lot like brake parts cleaner. It air dries, but it's supposed to be safe for connectors and all that. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna leave it. And then I'm just gonna clean these gaskets with it too. Okay, now I'm just gonna separate this new module from the pump. On this one, I'm going to spray this, but I want to spray it down. I don't know that I want to spray all that cleaner directly in. I don't know what the colors are for, but they look identical, so that's good. I'm also going to spray this with the cleaner. Okay, and now I'm just going to actually spray it again because my fingers are going all over. Okay, so now we're just going to stick the new module on the right way around because that was upside down. I was having a little bit of trouble getting these screws in, so Julie suggested that we put them in first into the module and then put the module on, so that was brilliant, and we're going to try that now. Nice. Remove the screwdriver that was propping it up. And we're going to push it into the guides we took it out of. There we go. Nice. And then we're going to put the mounting bolt back in. Stick our harness back on. Unclip your harness first. There we go. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed the video and maybe found it helpful. As always, I will be happy to answer as many questions as I can in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again in the shop.